out here kind of early. It's 6 o'clock. The ocean here. I think they do not cross, or maybe they're doing something with the stuff there. High tide. Yeah. Planes taking off down there from the airport. They're not showing up. Oh, there you are. Sometimes stuff that's in the sky that I'll be looking at it doesn't show up on the camera, which is, you know, interesting, but whatever. I was doing that with the moon the other night. I was trying to get it, it was huge, and it just pointing right at it, it wasn't showing up. Kind of like that night, like, what was it, a couple months ago, where I had the, there was a moon behind the moon. I made a big deal about it. I was freaked out by it. And come to find out that they were seeing the same thing in Australia. Someone had described the same thing. It was like, it wasn't like a moon, it was like a moon-shaped disc that was solid white, glowing like the moon was. That's why, like, I was saying it was a moon behind the moon. And it was sitting just right behind the moon, so you could see the ends of it overlapping on the right. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll show you a picture of the thumbnail. That's all I do. Like, I never link to the videos when I put them on the screen, which is, I should probably do that. I usually just put the thumbnail, but I have like fucking almost, what do I got? Like 700 videos, maybe more. I erased a bunch of the older ones a while back, just because, like, I redid a lot of the topic and stuff. But yeah, no one looks at stuff like that. No one really looks up ever. Everybody's always get their head down, or at the very least ground level. Never usually more than that. I'm like the only freak that's always looking at the top of the buildings and shit. That's nice. Yeah, I don't come down here as much as I used to. I don't know why. It's a good place to hang out and ruminate. I used to go swimming in the morning too, around this time. But yeah, just, I don't know. I kind of got out of the habit of doing it. The whole thing with the lockdowns and everything, that kind of changed my habits of what I would do, or what I was doing. Who's this? I know this. It's a prince. I can't read his name though. It's K's. I should know it. I know it. I used to know it. I used to be like paranoid about not knowing Hawaiian history. You know, being an outsider and stuff. And then after a while I realized no one that lives here knows Hawaiian history either. So, whatever. I get it, you know. A lot of joggers out this time of day. It's not that bad over here. God, why do they get so close here? Like, there's all this room. All this room. The homeboy here just fucking almost clips my shoulder. I don't know what that is. But it's, I was just about to say, there's joggers here, but it's easier here because there's more room than there are when I'm down by the stores and stuff, further down the street. And just as I was about to say that, fucking, I had almost had a clip there. Almost had a hip check from that guy. All this room. It's weird. I can't dwell on that kind of stuff because, like, I don't understand it. I try to give people space, like, you know, a reasonable amount. You know, I don't avoid people completely, but I try to give them room, you know, especially when you're like in line or something at a place. You know, everybody kind of sits on everybody's back. I think the thinking is like, if I put pressure on the person in front of me, they'll either magically go away or the line will move faster. It's kind of a brainlet thing, but people think that, I guess. What's he doing here? Are you doing this? No one knows. He doesn't know what he's doing. No one knows what they're doing. Yeah, cars, when someone's in a car here, it's scary. Especially if you're like in an enclosed spot. You're like, I don't know how far this dude's gonna go back. What do I do? Fuck. Yeah, like when you're in my garage and someone pulls in there, they could be taking a spot on the other side of the fucking building, but they gotta like come around you, back up right. Like the other night was funny. I was just doing a video talking about something, and the girl on that scooter pulls out, that motor scooter. The garage was pretty empty, and parks there right next to me and starts talking on her phone. So I had to walk away because her voice was, bleeding into what I was doing. So I'm like, what the fuck? It's weird. People do that to me all the time. I don't know what that is. But I could have all the space in the room and in the world. Like those guys are just right behind me. All right, I gotta take stock of what's around me. All right, there's a lot of room around me now, right? Okay, no one's charging up behind me for any reason, right? I mean, there shouldn't be anyway. But you're not dealing. You gotta remember, these people think differently than you. Like, they don't think they're doing anything wrong. Or like if they were to know, like I was like, what the fuck? They'd be surprised. Because they're thinking like, maybe what they're doing there, like at the moment, and maybe thinking about dinner later, or maybe one other social engagement. And that's about it. Anything more than that, they're gonna fucking train wreck. They're gonna train wreck. 95%, man. I've been getting better with it though. Like years ago, I would just fucking always freak out because I just couldn't believe it. I'd just be always like, oh, why? I can't. Why? I never understood it. Like there's, like for example, like what I was just saying about being out on a street or sidewalk. There's just so much room. But then the same thing used to happen. Like, you ever park your car in a parking lot going into like a store, the Duke, and you pull your car up, no one around, and then you got to get out and you got someone right next to you. It's that same kind of thing. It's weird. I think people just feel more safe, I guess. It's a safety thing. I'm the opposite, man. I mean, I know I'm the extreme opposite. Most people don't have the stuff going on with space in my head. But I don't think I'm fucking being unreasonable. I would like maybe a foot, like here. Like even here is okay. Healing stones over there. They have magical healing powers, so make sure to lock them up and don't let anyone touch them. That's how people roll. Fucking phone's starting to glitch out a little bit too with this smudgy. Yeah, I don't know. I was just walking near to work, so I just fired this up to see what was happening out here, but not much. It's weird because it's like, it is a city, right? Kind of. But usually in most places, like around this time, it would be jammed everywhere. People, moving around, but it's all mostly tourists. So, no one's going to work, And some of the stores too, like they They open later here than you would think. I think there's like maybe 2 places to get coffee at this time. You'd think it'd be more like older people kind of friendly when it comes to that kind of shit, but no. No, everything's fucking closed up. Like this place here, like in the actual city, this thing would be open, right? And there'd probably be people in there. But yeah, it's mostly tourists, so I guess there's not that kind of morning rush. But all these places have people that work in them too. I mean, I think the workers usually get there. You know, you'd think they get there a little bit before a place opens up. I don't know. I wonder what they're doing over here with the King's Village. I used to love that place. I mean, there wasn't a lot there. They did have a military museum on the bottom floor, like in sort of like the basement area. And that was cool. It wasn't very big, but had some interesting stuff in it. And the people the development company that bought that, I guess, they couldn't put the building in that they wanted to put in because it's too close to the ocean and it sinks more than other places, I guess. So for the size of the building they wanted to do, but I mean everything close to this is all wetland, like all of this, everything you see. Like if this was on the mainland, right, it would be zoned as wetland. You couldn't build on it, but you know the island's not much room. You know they got to do what they got to do. But the closer you are to the ocean, the more your building's gonna sink. So if you put like a, you know, they want to put a big one there, a condominium building, but it's just too heavy. It's too heavy. You can't dig down enough to get the pylons in place. But it looks like they're doing something now because they built those little things, those roofs there. So they must be planning on doing something in there. I don't know what, but I haven't heard anything. Yeah, see, like ABC, that's not even open. Yeah, to get like coffee here at this time, you really can't. You have to like make your own. Like I can't think of a place that's open now. Maybe in the hotels. Yeah, then if you stay in a hotel, I'm sure there's a place there for people to go. There's a cigarette lady. If she sees me, she'll start screaming for cigarettes. Even though I've stopped giving them to her. Because I had to. Because it was just... Some of the people, like, I've helped out over the years, I mentioned some of them. They're so, like, crazy that if you do something nice, right? That's like you set the bar, so they kind of expect it, and then you know it must feel like a mean when I say no, because in their mind it's like, no, he's the one that gives me, you know what I mean? But then you have people chasing you across the street or yelling from the other side of the, you know, the street, and I just don't want to have that, you know. I don't like people screaming at me, chasing me down the street. I try to avoid that as much as I can anyway. It does still happen. Yeah, no problem, buddy. I don't have $1, but I got a cigarette for you. There you go, man. Have a good day. Oh, I got the light. Good. Yeah, I don't like hanging around street corners here too long. like to keep moving. That's the, you kind of have to, you know, because I talked about the nonsense meter before. It's basically like a taxi, you know, when you get in a taxi and there's like a meter running, you know, as soon as you get in there. It's kind of the same thing. If you stop kind of anywhere at any time, it's like the meter, the nonsense meter gets turned on. And the more you stay in that space, the more likely you're going to be met with nonsense. You know, I've seen it. I've lived through it. I've had a, you know, me and my friends would hang out, listen to music, and we had this thing like when we saw someone coming in to bother us about something, they want something, or try to get friendly with you so they can hang around you and try to rob you or whatever, you know. We always would say incoming, just so we'd be prepared to tell them to fuck off, because you have to, you know. You have to. Like I said before, I have that thing, like, if you're a dude, right, and you're under the age of 65, okay, you have no reason to talk to me, approach me, call my name, say, hey, come here. None of that, none of that, none of that. And I don't respond to, hey, brother. I don't respond to any of that. I don't do that. Why? Why? Because I don't, obviously you don't know me. I don't know you. I have no interest in getting anything from you. So you just want something from me. It sounds horrible, but man, when you've lived through enough bullshit trying to be like cool, you get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not cool. I don't care who thinks I'm not cool. I'm telling you, I'm not cool. I'm not cool, okay? So, here's a couple quarters for the fuck off machine. You can fucking go do that. I don't have any time for it. Yeah, I don't know what it's like in other cities now, but it's like, to get from one point to another and just be left alone is fucking, you know, that's a good day. That's a good day. So, going by that metric, I think this is a pretty good walk. There aren't a lot of people out, so I mean, that of course adds to it, but, you know, it's a law of averages thing, I guess. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.